when we did Patalok, OTT was still trying to get into our lives. It was one of those earlier shows. How much ever your husband is beating you, but you have to look at the bigger picture that your children and kids will be affected, so you stay there. I personally don't think I will be able to do it. So,
let's say
like that, I can't play that character.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't want to do something just for the sake of doing it, or roles where I'm just going to look pretty and beautiful. I want to make a mark as an actor. Budgetary situation is very bad in Bengal. There is absolutely no money. Men will come and tell us that, oh, really, you needed this and, take it. So we are giving this to you. It is our right. And even now during Archikor, a lot of cartoons were made.
Yeah, the backlash is tremendous.
Yeah, but
for Bengal, Swastika Mukherjee requires no introduction. For the rest of India, she is the neurotic wife from Patalok. She is the femme fatale from Detective Bhopkesh Bokshi, and she is the toxic mother from Kala. And even while I was framing that question, it occurred to me that in all these films, you were playing either a mother or a wife or something related to the patriarchal system. So, as an actor, do you feel that there should be a role which will let you breathe, or just be not just a mother or a daughter?
If I don't be a mother or a wife, I'll be a daughter. So we are all connected to patriarchy in some way or the other. But my focus has always been, not like now, but since the beginning of my career, I think I've always chosen roles that were performance driven. I always wanted to be a part of films or web shows now, where I contribute as an actor and people get to see my craft, and I can make a place in their mind, and they remember me and my performance long after it's over. So that always has been my agenda. That I don't want to do something just for the sake of doing it, or roles where I'm just going to look pretty and beautiful. I want to make a mark as an actor. So that's what has been my focus.
You are one of the few actors from the Bengali film industry, including Tota and Jishu, who have successfully dabbled with both the Bombay film industry and the Bengali film industry. And you are successfully, portrayed a lot of interesting characters in both these industries, especially on OTTs. Do you think OTTs are the new avenue for strong female characters?
I feel OTT is giving us the space to experiment more, because nationally, I think people still, when it comes to a theatre release, or a commercial film or a big budget film, producers and directors still want to take the safer route. As in, they want to tell stories that are safe, or they think that it will click with the audience, and it is either a thriller or a comedy, or with very big names. So they still want to take the safer way. I feel Bengal has been experimenting for a very long time. I don't think it has started because of the advent of OTT. In way back, I think in 2011-12, we had done a film called Ami Are Amar Girlfriends.
Yes, yeah.
With Raima and Parno and myself, directed by Moinam Pomik. Something on similar lines happened in Bollywood now called Viredi Wedding. And then it felt like, the national audience has woken up to adult female characters, or female vocalizing their
needs,
sexual desires, opportunities missed and lost and found, and women speaking about their body. And also a film
Absolutely.
like Lipstick Under My Burqa.
Yeah.
So a very favorite film of mine, Lipstick Under My Burqa, where we see, aged women also talk about their own sexual fantasies or these subjects which has women in them. I think Bengali films have been
Absolutely.
showing this for a very long time, and Bollywood is showing it now. So the nation thinks that, oh wow, this is happening, but we have done it.
Yeah.
We've done it
In
long
fact, there was a
time.
brief period, as in there was I remember that era that you're talking about,
Yeah.
like 2008 to
Yeah,
to
I have only done
like a number
such
of them.
bold
Yeah,
films.
yeah, you have. Yeah.
Not in terms of what kind of clothes we were wearing, but bold content. There was Ami and Amar Girlfriends, there was Take One, there
Mach Mishti
was
More.
Much Mishti More, there was
Take One was
Shahid Bibi
Bibi
Ghulam.
Ghulam.
Yeah, so I don't think Bollywood mainstream cinema has shown guts to see show a female lead character
Absolutely.
playing that part.
In fact, but I was wondering, and today Bangla cinema, for a lack of better term, has earned the reputation of not doing that many, like doing as well as probably the Malayalam film industry or the Telugu or Kannadiga film industry. They are Malayalam film industry specifically is pushing the envelope in so many ways, and we tend to be telling the same old stories in same way in a lot of ways. Do you feel there is a kind of stagnation when it comes to new ideas?
So I think the budgetary situation is very bad in Bengal. There is absolutely no money, and producers who are coming to spend 1 or 2 crore. I'm not talking about the once in a time, khadan,
Yeah.
or once in a while a Robudakat or the big films that are happening. But usually people don't want to spend more than a general regular producers, not a Bohurupi which has maybe a 6 crore budget, but generally there are like 100 films being made. They come with a budget of 1 or 2 crores, and they want to play it safe, but they want to make films which is working in the market.
But weren't films that you were talking about, like Ami Arama Girlfriends, they were also small budget films which were big on ideas. So do you think we need to go back to that? Because
I just feel that we were progressive back then.
Yeah.
We are just kind of not moving ahead. We are going back. We're just living in a very regressive world.
And if you see Bangla television, as in the soap operas, as in even if you see like OTTs, the shows, they tend to be all about homemakers and how they're dealing dealing with the family structure and how to navigate it and stuff, abuse. Yeah. So I mean, of course, it's one thing to talk about abuse, but one thing to almost glamorize it, which tends to be the case in a lot of these series. So,
if you ask these questions to people who are making it and people who are putting the money to make it, they will say that this is what is working. So, if the audience wants to watch this, then, that is what you feed them. Yeah. So, someone has to stop feeding this and, bring that change. As actors, we can suggest. Or we can say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of this content, or I don't want to do this show. But somebody else will do it and it will still be made.
Do you do that? Like, do you give feedback to directors?
No, something that I don't like, I don't do it.
You don't do it.
No, and I don't think I will be able to. Though my personal understanding and stake is different than an actor's, but I feel we are living in a time and in a world with social media and all of it that in some way our personality also shows in our work. Our personality also shows in what we say, what we do, what we are telling the world, or which side of us we are projecting out there. And I always strongly believe that as artists, we have a very big role to play in the society because people listen to us, people hear us, people look up to us. So it's very important to have beliefs that I can talk about. And so I don't think at this juncture of my life I will be ready to work in a film or an OTT where I'm just saying very aggressive things as a woman character, or I'm just being okay with whatever shit my in-laws are giving me and I am putting up with it because I don't want to break my family. So I am going to, my son is there and my children are there. So I am going to put up with a very abusive husband because I don't want to break the family. I don't think I can work in a film which is saying this.
So you were saying you will not...
Which is glorifying this narrative that you're a woman, you're a married woman, your Shongshar and your family is everything to you. So how much ever your husband is beating you, but you have to look at the bigger picture that your children and kids will be affected, so you stay there. I personally don't think I will be able to do it. So
let's say
like that, I can't play that character.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, obviously.
I can't play that character, and I don't want to put out this message to the world that
this is okay.
You need to stay there and suffer for the rest of your life for the sake of your children, and don't take a stand or don't fight it and come out from that hellhole with your kids and do something with your life. I want to say that story. So I don't want to be that.
And increasingly, when you look at, we all look at Bollywood for like references, but you see, the Hindi film industry glorifying these sort of films, and they want to go back to the 80s, which kind of reveled in these sort of,
No, but they're also doing a lot of contents which are saying things otherwise.
They are, but they are also. There's a film like Animal. There's a film like Chhava, which relegates the female characters to the background, or worse, makes them suffer humiliation without giving them any kind of catharsis. So, is it a worrying thing for you as an actor when you see that, and because this will be replicated in other industries too? So.
I think it's a worrying thing as a human being, not as an actor. But I also feel it's our personal choice of what kind of films we want to watch and what kind of stories we want to see and, just relate to others. I mean, maybe Bollywood is making these films, but a film like Great Indian Kitchen is also being made. So I want to watch that film where the wife comes out from that hole and does something that she wants to do and not stay as a person.
You did a film like that, Tashe
Gaur. Yeah. So I want to be a part of those films, and I think it's up to the audience as to what kind of content they want to watch. If that is what happens in their house, they will be happy watching that on screen.
Talk how you feel and your ideologies, and anyone who has followed you on social media knows that you don't mince word, you take stand. In fact, I remember this meme where they had pictures of you and other Tollywood actors, female actors, saying that this is these are Tollywood stars, and during the RG Kaur movement, and then in reference to big Bollywood stars never ever coming out and supporting a cause. And I know for a fact that even now you're even recently a popular producer, popular is the wrong word, a producer accused you of many things because you came out in support of the whole Ajikor movement, which shook Bengal. And you were out there day in, day out. I've seen you on the roads, standing by the doctors and the protesters. do you feel like, it is the activism is like, ingrained in you as a person, or how do you see this? Because for pan-Indian, like, people, it's like, they are not used to actors coming out on the street, and maybe a Shabana Azmi, yes, but they're not used to actors coming out.
I think I come from Bengal, and people in this state are aware of politics. Much, much more aware of politics. We discuss politics since our birth. All elders in the family discuss politics and democracy, and as I think as a community we read more books. We are culturally aggressive because the culture is there in our homes. We go to singing classes, we go to dancing classes, we go to drawing classes. In every household somebody is learning something. We have this culture of learning to play musical instruments. Something we have to learn in our lives, and I think upbringing matters, and what your parents have instilled in you. And why would you not stand up for something which is right, or protest against something which is such a heinous crime? And I feel the Arjikor incident, so many thousands and lakhs of people gathered on the street. It was not just about one stray incident. It was about our safety, your safety. It was just not about the women brigade. It was also about the LGBTQIA++ community, where we are manhandled, we are cornered, we are shamed, we are body shamed, we are age shamed. Every kind of thing is happening all around us, and collectively we need to voice our opinion, and we need to take a stand, and we need to fight for what is ours. When we are constantly talking about equality, we are not begging for it. It's not that some men will come and tell us that, oh, really, you needed this, and take it, so we are giving this to you. It is our right, and it's something so basic.
Absolutely.
You move into an apartment, the tap water has to be there. It's not something you call your landlord and say that I have to pay money because the tap water is not coming. It is as basic as that.
And I remember, I will just keep you ask because I'm curious myself. I remember you being on the streets. So were there moments where you felt that this is much bigger than what just a protest? This,
yeah, of course, it was bigger than everything I have ever seen in my life. Hope Colorado happened, I think 2014, 15.
You were a Jadavpur student,
yes.
right? And
so of course I was there.
Yeah.
It was the Jadavpur University held protest, and my parents were still alive, and they were very, I think, scared. And
for you?
Yeah, just going on the streets, and even then there were, I don't know what's it called in English, Kush Putul. They make these. They were putting my bikini body. They were making. They had made those, and then they put pictures of me in a bikini. And
slut shaming you like.
Yeah, but see, it was not my body, so they had put somebody else's body, and that body was great. So I really liked them. And even now during Arjikor, a lot of cartoons were made.
Yeah, the backlash is tremendous.
Yeah, but those cartoons had great boobs. So, and I don't have such amazing boobs, so I was very happy. That, oh my God, somebody is really focusing on the.
No, but that apart, I'm sure you probably. Your inboxes are probably flooded with threats and stuff.
It doesn't affect me.
It doesn't affect you.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. You never get
scared
or because you have a grown-up daughter.
I've gone to. My daughter doesn't stay here, so that's
no. But does she worry about you? Like ma ita corona, ma.
She just tells me one thing. Don't kill and don't get killed.
Yeah,
Don't kill and don't
That's a
don't get
legitimate
killed.
advice.
That's the only statement she offers as a support. And yeah, I mean, I have received death threats and acid attack threats, and I've gone to Lal Bazaar. And I had to inform them because a lot of times it happens that somebody has written something very bad, and I couldn't control this urge of not replying. So I have replied, and they have replied back saying, "Sorry, madam, I wrote this, but I really wanted a reply from you. So I'm so happy you made my day."
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, delusional people, they are all around us, and they're doing something or the other to grab attention or get a kick in their life.
And talking about the social media, the role of social media in our life, your social media profile is 100% you. There's no curation of any sorts because
There's no
embellishment.
beautification
Yeah,
also.
absolutely. And whereas most people tend to totally.
I've tried to maintain a grade and to just beautify it. I've tried, but then some dog related
Yes.
something comes to me, or I have to ask for donation, or I need some help with the rescue. Some critical something comes my way, and there goes the beauty and the grade and maintaining this ratio. So I just said, it's not going to happen with me. And I've also kind of people from Meta also have reached out a lot of times that my following growth is stuck at one number for the last 4 years, and they keep saying that, ma'am, if you stop posting about dogs and you make a different page for them, then we can really work on your handle, and you'll get better traction and better following. So I have thought about it, and then I thought that if I make another separate page which will have to start from scratch, from zero following, how am I going to do this work that I'm doing because I have some 1.5 million followers?
True.
Like I'm sharing appeals about lost dogs, and I can't tell you. There was this case that happened in Gurgaon, I think last year. A stray dog, but of course, stray dog staying in a home and a house pet. The owners found the dog after 3 months when they had lost all hope that they are ever going to. No, because not just me, because people were sharing that post so many times, and I had forgotten about it. And then suddenly one day I get a message on my DM that someone reached out to me saying that, ma'am, just wanted to share this good news that we have found him. And and I thought that it is the best day of my life. I was never happier, more happy in that I was in that moment. So I mean, it's just a negotiation that you have to do with yourself, that you want to make more reels, and you want to have more traction and better following, or you want to do the work that you're so invested in. And I feel beyond my as an actor workspace, this is the purpose I live for. That is my calling. Because my child is a grown up now. Of course I'm playing the role of a mother in her life, but not as much.
She doesn't need you as much.
Doesn't need me as much as maybe she needed me 10 years back. So I don't want to waste away my life. If I'm not shooting, what do I do? Of course I read books, I'll watch TV, I'll write something, but what else? That is something I'm doing for myself, but what else can I do as a part of the society? I need to give back. So what more can I do? And the strays need all the love and the care and the attention because they're not getting as much as they deserve. So I've worked out a network. I work with more than 30 NGOs all over the country. And it's not just dogs. There is rescue and rehabilitation of donkeys, of elephants, of horses who are used and then thrown just out. So
And-
there are so many people actually doing this on a daily basis, and they need help with donation, they need help with funding. And if I've achieved some success in my life, I might as well use it for some good work rather than just wasting my time watching stupid reels.
That's amazing. In fact, talking about social awareness, coming from Durgapur Junction, you play a journalist
Yes.
who is an investigative
Investigative
journalist,
journalist,
which is a totally different field of journalism. Requires a whole lot of dedication. I know for a fact that investigative
And a very
journalists-
straight spine, and also courage,
Yes.
strength.
They
You
spend
need to be
months on a
brave.
story. They
Yeah.
spend months on a following a story. So if you could tell me, what kind of homework or when for this role?
See, I'm not a person who does homework when a film comes to me. That this role has come, so now I will focus and I will learn a lot about the character. I think I'm an actor who does homework on a daily basis. Like, I observe people all around me. I have a habit of noting down things. I will remember. I will have a lot of conversations with you. Like Bidisha, who is a common friend, and she's a journalist, not an investigative, but I speak to her generally on a lot of things beyond the interview space. Just to understand how she thinks about her work, how people are in her office. Because once you have conversations with a person, these things come up. And I watch a lot of, work that's happening all over the world, even though I don't understand the language many times. But I switch off the, subtitles, and I just watch it in their original language, trying to understand from their emotions as to what is going on. Because I feel at times I want to focus on the performance, and my eyes are constantly, trying to read the subtitles, and then I'm halfway here and halfway there, and I just want to see how people are emoting, how actors,
the body language.
Yeah, how actors. I love watching Scandinavian shows, and Nordic tales, and I just like.
Did you watch a lot of Nordic noir for this?
No,
I'm guessing it's a mystery
I watch it in general. In general, I watch it. So maybe when a role comes to me, and then I remember that I've seen something like this somewhere, so then I go back and I revisit it and I rewatch it maybe once or twice, just to see how differently people can emote to different situations. And then, of course, you have to play it your way. You have to Indianize it. Our culture and emotions work on a very different level. We hardly see people crying the way we do when somebody dies. If you're watching a Hollywood film, I've never seen them crying the way we Indians cry when a loved one passes by. I mean, I've seen people just wanting to go into that burning fire with someone. I mean, people have to pull them back. So that outburst of emotions also happens to us as a culture, which is not there maybe in other cultures, and people are grieving silently. We grieve very loudly. So my homework happens on a regular way, and I never see some actors what they have done immediately and then try to replicate that or try to keep that as a reference. No, I just play it the way I want. But this film Durgapur Junction has been interesting because I could put a lot of my own characteristics into that woman.
So we will see a lot of Swastika in her.
Yeah, because she is opinionated, she's bold, she has a lot of courage and strength, and even her husband tells her that there's no need to protest for everything that you feel it's not right, or you're working under someone, you do a job. So if they're telling you not to write about this, then don't write about it. I mean, why do you want to create a ruckus and make a fuss, and you are going against your boss and you're getting thrown from your job, but you still want to pursue that? Why are you being so stubborn? So I could see a lot of myself, in the script,
that bullheaded
in that character. Like it's something that the horses wear. I just want to do this, and I'm not going to look anywhere. So yeah, I thought that, oh, it's a great thing, so I can just put some bits and parts of myself into it.
This is the last question because I can't help but wonder, when we talk about your pan India career, the roles that you've played, because I was like, oh, can't we have her come back for Patalok too? And
Yeah, I think the whole team, all of us who worked in Patalok season 1, and when we learned that the story is going to
Nagaland,
India, and we did not know the specifications, but we knew that the story is moving on to North India. So, of course, our story was over, and I remember asking Sudeep Sharma, that can't Neeraj, cover that story also that's happening in North India, and can you just not have me and Shabitri do something and be there, because we were so heartbroken.
Like a White Lotus.
That you have some characters still there. Yeah, so, and also I think when we did Patalok, OTT was still trying to get into our lives. It was one of those earlier shows, and it was a different feeling that you're shooting for so many days. More than a film, and just so much is happening. And I was like, and then I also told them that can you all just do a mini series with me and Shabitri?
That is a spin-off. Absolutely, we would love that. In fact, your tremendous role in Kala too. I mean,
but I don't want any to happen, because I was just
absolutely that is devastating.
It was just so heavy on me as a mother. And it really did take a toll on my just mental well-being. It was
your character was the most complex one of the lot.
Yes, and I'm not that person at all. I mean, there's
she's
just
manipulative.
I also feel she's a victim, she is from where she came in the life she got, and she always, I think, wanted to get that respect that a man was getting, get that respect that her husband was getting, get that respect that a pandit was getting in the world of music, that a bai was not getting. So she wanted that better, respectful life for her daughter. That's why she kept on saying कि नाम के पीछे नाम के आगे पंडित बैठना चाहिए, लिखना चाहिए, नाम के पीछे बाई नहीं. So I have shot the film, I think 4 years back, and I still remember the lines.
I mean, it is.
So it was so hard hitting, and I feel looking at Urmila in a way that she is toxic and she is manipulative and she is harmful is one way of looking at her. But since I have really dwelled deep into her emotions, I know that
you played her as a victim.
Yeah. Not just a victim. I'm saying that we also need to see her life and her journey and what has happened that led her to become a woman like this.
And it does that. You managed to convey that, because it's not just hatred that we feel for her.
Yes, but it was just so difficult for me. I was just constantly comparing her with my own mother avatar. And just feeling that what could I have done more as Urmila? I mean, just the angst and the need that why didn't I reach earlier? I reached, right? I did go.
Yeah, but
why didn't I take that decision?
Yeah.
Maybe 2 days back, I could have saved my child.
Spoiler alert for people.
And then I have constantly thought much later, after the film had released and everything was done and people had stopped talking about it, I still kept on thinking that what is happening in Urmila's life now? I mean, she has no one.
Yeah.
We talk about being lonely, like I stay alone, so I have a lonely life, and I think about Urmila's lonely life, and I feel that I'm living in a paradise. In that era, just no one there, like no friend, no family, children dead, husband dead, just I don't know.
The character of all the characters you played, is she the character that haunts you the most?
I think also she, and also another Bengali another character I played in a Bengali film called Oshomapto, directed by Shuman Mukherjee.
Yes, yeah.
And my name was Tuki in the film, and I have called him up so many times later. Suddenly one day and said that, what do you think has happened to her? Like, has she left that abusive husband? Is she living with the son? Has she got the son out of the hostel? I mean, can you just tell me something so I can get a closure? So yeah, some characters stay with you, and you're constantly, and it's such a weird feeling because I can't put another face to that character. It's me.
Exactly.
I have played that character, so I cannot place some other woman's face onto her. I am thinking of me only, but it is not me, it is someone else. So it's just a weird concoction of anxiety.
I wouldn't want to inhabit an actor's mind. It seems like
it's a difficult one.
It's a difficult place, And of course, you are a Dibakar favorite.
Yeah, so I think somebody, there was a time when I was just working in a film and some other film was releasing, and someone asked me, or some just random person asked me that, how are you? So, for a second, I just zoned out thinking that which you is he talking about? Because I have 5 women in my head right now. I'm reading scripts and I am, the post-production of a film is going on and one film is releasing and I'm shooting for something. So there are 5 women living inside me. So somebody just asked me, how are you? And I'm like, which you should answer? So yeah, it gets complicated at times and I'm like, wait, I'm answering a question. Let me just get back to my own self and answer how I am. Otherwise, I'm going to answer you as one of them who is living in my head right now.
On that teasing note, we would want to say, thank you for joining us, joining the Screen YouTube page for this discussion, and we are saying thank you to all the 5, 6, 7 views that you are that's there in your mind now. Swastika Mukherjee, what an amazing actor, what an amazing personality. We are all so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.